Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you're at, whether you're driving a car, you're watching this as a passenger on your cell phone, you're catching the bus to work on your iPad. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching ESA with Vic Pardal, the loudest white boy on African soil. Keep on pushing 100% South African content. Let's make this a better country to live in. Bam!
Can you get a better intro than that? Vic Pardal, the loudest white boy in South Africa, welcome you to ESA on behalf of myself, Greg Minnaar, the voice of choice. Yes, you're here again, and we're doing it once again for ESA this week. Incredible stuff this week as well, and really one of the best interviews we've got lined up for this season. After only 3 or 4 days after taking his 4th World Championship title in the downhill mountain biking, we've got Greg Minnaar lined up with you for this week, so you cannot believe what we've been able to do. But before we get into that, let's go and have a look at the event results. Road America saw both Jordan Pepper and his teammate Andrea Caldarelli do an incredible job at the very first opening round at Silverstone, taking a victory in the K-Pax Lamborghini Hurricane. Absolutely amazing stuff, and flying the flag high out there for South Africans. And speaking of South Africans, of course, the Binder boys were at it once again too. They went out in MotoGP doing an incredible job. Both of them finishing up well within the podium tasks, and not quite on the podium this time out like we saw last time with the incredible run from Brad Binder on slick tires in the wet. But he's definitely slowly but surely becoming a big factor in MotoGP. The MotoGP results, of course, were all about Fabio Quartararo extending the lead in his championship and ensuring that the Yamaha man could possibly be untouched heading into the next round. But he's still got some very, very fast riders on his tail, and most notably was Aleix Espargaro getting the very first podium for an incredible brand of Aprilia. In Moto 2, it was all about Remy Gardner, and in Moto 3, it was all about Romano Fenati doing an amazing job to also go one better over everybody else involved in Moto 3. But that field is so incredibly close, and man, we were in for an epic, epic finish to this season. Speaking of epic finishes to the season as well, more South Africans doing an incredible job overseas. Akil Alibai in the Janetta Cup doing a superb job of getting a 6th place, a 12th place and a 14th place respectively, and moving himself up in the championship too. And then Zimbabwean Jessica Howden went absolutely amazingly in her first outing in the European Women's Cup on 2 wheels and did an amazing job there for us too. So just flying the flags higher for Southern Africa. We wrapped up the Audi 9s, and what we saw last week in terms of that preview, you could see just how exciting that event was going to be. But let me tell you something, they went and put on an absolute spectacle of note. And we've got a video that'll show you all of the highlights, including a 36 bike train of all the ladies and guys who were involved in Audi 9s, and for the very first time, a front flip heel clicker coming out of an absolutely amazing rider. Let's go and check out Elias's run and all the action from Audi 9s.
Easy, no stress.
Elias Russo from Austria landed the world's first front flip heel clicker during a heated session on the big air jump situated in Birkenfield Quarry in Germany.
My day was absolutely crazy. First off, we had a beautiful sunrise session here in the big old quarry in Birkenfeld, Germany. And afterwards in the evening, I was super happy and glad to land my first ever front flip heel clicker. It's actually a world's first trick, so I'm super pumped for it and can't believe it, to be honest.
This complex aerial trick requires the rider and bike doing a forward flip in the air while simultaneously lifting his feet over his arms and bringing them close enough to click his heels together in front of him.
Wow, it's an absolute dream come true. Audi 9s is basically one of the sickest events that I ever witnessed. I've been watching this event since 2013, every single year, and it's an absolute dream come true to be here. And yeah, it just provides such an amazing energy, and yeah, it's the perfect setting and venue to do all of your crazy tricks here.
event results and, of course, more videos just like that, get on to extremesportsaction.co.za or just check out all our social media handles. And thanks once again for all of the likes and shares of all our social media platforms and posts that have been going out worldwide. We do appreciate it. But after this, it's the event results all sorted out, and we catch up with the greatest of all time, 4-time downhill mountain bike world champion, Greg Minnaar. We'll see you after the break. Absolutely amazing stuff, and a big welcome back to ESA. As I said to you, we've been able to catch up with the 4-time UCI Downhill World Cup champion and the world champion. He's done it 4 times in a row now. Can you believe that? It's absolutely amazing stuff to have Greg Minnaar on ESA with us only 3 days after he's taken his 4th world championship. We managed to catch up with him on his travels worldwide, getting ready for the next event, and we caught up with him on a VMX call. Let's go and find out what's been happening with the greatest of all time.
So here we are. Face, eh? Pick up only a couple of days later with Greg Minnaar. Dude, I can't believe that it's literally 4 days since you've gone and done the unthinkable. 4-time UCI downhill mountain bike champion. First of all, it just must be mind-blowing. I don't think it's sunk in yet, has it?
Well, Greg, first of all, it's been such a while since I've seen you, and for you to be so serious taking this interview and put your game face on was pretty surreal for me. Probably as surreal as winning on Sunday. So, yeah, it hasn't sunk in. It's although if it hasn't sunk in, all the messages and emails and everything else has really sunk in or made it sink in, or probably will sink me. So that's been a bit tough. But I think the hardest thing is we finished up on Sunday. And we've come straight to Switzerland. We're going to the World Cup this weekend, so we're on track tomorrow. So it's really not much time, and it's just been a whirlwind and storm of press and media and everything else. So it's been a bit tough, but other than that, I can't really complain. I've been very blessed with a great season.
I have to put the game face on, as you said, because we are live on Ignition TV, and we're also going live on all of our social media platforms over next Friday and Saturday. But I've got to say, at 39 years of age, did you ever think another world title was up for grabs? I know you were looking for wins in the World Cup, but the World Championship, that's a whole other level, buddy. You've done it 3 times and now 4.
Well, I mean, I knew I could win it. I mean, I wouldn't be racing if I didn't feel I could win. And, Santa Cruz made this beautiful frame, and the artwork on this frame had all my medals through my career of world championships. And I just looked and I was like, man, since 2015, I haven't even got a bronze medal. I mean, things have been a bit dry. So that was some inspiration there to elevate the game. But I felt good this whole season. I've had a bit of bad luck in the World Cup, so that hasn't helped. But I definitely wouldn't be racing if I didn't feel that I could win. It's really hard to put together on that one run.
Sure. I mean, that's the whole idea. Once you're out there, if you don't have the ability or the mind capability to think that you can still win it, in amongst, we mentioned the Frenchies, you've got some fast Americans, you've got some fast Canadians who are starting to come through that are becoming a big threat. You just look at the likes of the junior world champion as well. I mean, he just from British Columbia, unbelievable young rider that could possibly be, touted to be the next you, because he's come through the similar kind of ranking to what you did from sort of motocross into downhill, a little bit of motocross and downhill, some enduro here and there as well. And eventually it all comes into play, because I think the well-roundedness of you as an athlete is probably one of the best things for you in terms of your ability still to win at this level at your age.
Yeah, I think I've had I think I was pretty fortunate, really lucky. I mean, I didn't expect when I was a kid that I'd end up on a mountain bike. Never alone racing downhill. So I think I was lucky in that I started BMX, or I had a BMX, and raced motocross for 10, 12 years as a kid. Starting at 4.5. So I had a good grounding in motorcycles, and then that transferred really well to mountain biking. And then, of course, the motocross background led more to downhill than cross country. So it's definitely played a big part in my career.
I've got to say, every time I see you on a track, it just blows me away that at one point we were sitting together in the same team bus, doing things together with Mark Squire and the likes thereof. And it just, when I see what you've done and I look at what I've done, I go, okay, well, I went the talking cuck route and you went the riding bike route. And I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it's I think I've been blessed. I've met a whole lot of good people along the way, and it's crazy. There's been all the way through my career. There's just been people who've bumped into, like yourself, that have gone and ventured off into other things, and it's so cool that we kind of go back into the bicycle or to two wheels, and I think two wheels generally are just such an amazing thing to have, whether it's motorized or pedal power. It's everyone relates, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think we can end off the interview saying, probably as much as what Rossi says, that 4 wheels moves the body, 2 wheels move the soul, and you've certainly moved the soul of South Africa, buddy. Congratulations once again from us at ESA.
I told you we don't mess around. I told you we bring you up-to-date information. How much more up-to-date do you want than that? Interview with a 4-time world champion and South Africa's proudest probably athlete in terms of mountain biking and cycling at this stage. Up next, we're going to go into fall through, and we're doing it a little bit different this time. We're going to have a look and see what happened at Ultimate X over the last couple of events and see how the athletes all got it wrong in fall through. Those are the kind of tricks you're going to see at Ultimate X this weekend, and of course it's one of our upcoming events. But more importantly, of course, if you want to get onto fall through, don't forget to tag us on your videos, or just get onto esatv.co.za and make sure you submit those videos so we can make you famous on our fall through section. From fall through, we head to what's coming up, so let's go and see what's in the upcoming events. Later in the show, we're going to catch up with Jeff James, one of South Africa's finest spinning competitors and athletes who's gone all out, along with Red Bull, for Shaya Imoto. That one coming up for the 3rd time this season, an absolutely amazing event, and definitely something you want to be checking up on the upcoming events calendar, because there it is in the background. You can see just how exciting it's going to be. Unfortunately, due to COVID, there's no spectators, but Red Bull are running a competition, and they're going to give one lucky subscriber to that Red Bull Shaya Imoto event an opportunity to be there and be part of the Red Bull crew on the setup at the very top secret venue that they've got for Shaya Imoto for this season. Jeff James will, of course, join us in the studio later on to tell us all about it. But more importantly is make sure that you check it out on Red Bull TV or even here on ESA TV as well and see all the events that are happening with Shaya Imoto. Ultimate X, powered by Suzuki, heads to Sun City this weekend. Absolutely amazing event over the last couple of seasons, and definitely something you want to be checking out because it's BMX and skateboard championships up for grabs. And of course, you've got all the freestyle motocross riders going to be involved in the house as well. Don't forget DJ Parrow is there, or Jack Parrow is there, I should say, and DJ Speedster, all part and parcel of Monster's incredible initiative to be part and parcel of that event. And it's definitely something you want to check out because that is what it's all about when it comes to stuff that's going to be happening over the next 2 weekends. There are 2 massive extreme events happening in South Africa, and you definitely don't want to miss out on them. We will bring you all the event results on that, but up next, let's go and catch up with one of the judges from Red Bull Shaya Imoto, Jeff James. If we're speaking about spinning or drifting in this country, spinning particularly, Jeff James is a name that always comes to the forefront. He's been around since the 1980s and he's been doing a hell of a lot of good when it comes to the world of spinning. He's a big advocate of getting the spinning off the streets and into safe environments. And of course, he's now a judge at Red Bull Soweto. And of course, when he walked in the studio this evening, he didn't actually realize that he was standing next to somebody that he met only a couple of years ago at Westbank Raceway with Mugesh and of course all the guys that have been involved in that sport. It's fantastic to have Jeff James with us. Jeff, fantastic to have you, buddy, and looking forward to this coming week with big plans with Red Bull Soweto.
Thanks for the invite, and I'm really quite excited.
You must be, because I mean, in the world of COVID right now, spinning has taken a little bit of a knock, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely, most definitely. But what can we do? We just have to keep on pushing.
You are pushing.
Yeah.
I think everybody in the world of spinning is pushing the limits at the moment.
Oh,
Take us through where the career started for you, bud.
It's a very long story. You know, it took place in Soweto during the 80s, but by then I was still young. You know,
not any grey there. Hey,
oh,
what
yes.
Saying.
And look, spinning was already there.
Yeah.
You know, but in a different form or different vibe, which I could say. You know, and what happened is we stepped in and we transformed, because you must remember, cars were getting stolen, spinning on the public roads, you know, burning the cars and all sort of things. But when we came in, we tried and transform this whole thing, you know, to become a sport, you know. And we shifted away from the street. We've got now safe venues now where we perform and do our thing, you know. So, which is very safe, which is key, you know. Safety is key when it comes to any kind of sport, you know. So I think we are on the right track, if I may say so.
Yeah, exactly. You were on the wrong track initially. You moved it to the right track, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
But I think with that, there's also a big factor with corporates getting involved, like Red Bull. You know, they want events that are going to attract big crowds, that have that crowd appeal to them. You don't get much better than spinning, do you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look, best ever platform. Yeah, I admit it. Best ever platform. It's just for the guys to come over and enjoy themselves and showcase their talent.
And there's some very talented drivers, which you have to, unfortunately, go and do a job of judging next weekend, because it's not going to be an easy one, is it?
Definitely, it's so difficult, man, because you get best spinners in the country.
Take us through some of the names.
The likes of Sam, the likes of Gatra, the likes of Austin Kruger. That name just, you know, the list just goes on. You know, those are the best spinners in the country.
And they're coming from all around the country, aren't they?
Oh, yes, around the country.
Now, I know it's a top secret venue because of COVID and there's no spectators, but the one cool thing about it is I believe Red Bull are giving away a VIP experience for someone to come and join the team and be part of that team and experience what it's going to be like. And then everybody else will just have to catch it on the live stream.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So it's so unfortunate we weren't going to be having any spectators, you know. So the guys just have to watch it on a live stream.
Can't wait.
and
it's really going to be an amazing event. I mean, we've got, I think it kicks off from about 7 o'clock on the Saturday evening and it runs late into the night as always. 12 of the best country, as you said, best spinners in the country are there. But take us through the judging. How does that all work? What are you looking for to ensure that the guy gets the crown?
Good question, but we judge in terms of fluidity, your speed, you know, obstacles, and your stunts. Yes, those are the criteria.
Now, you say stunts. There's a lot of the guys out there that are pulling Jeff J moves out there. Those were all originated from the man sitting next to me. How did that all come apart? Where did you come up with some of these concepts?
You know, when you're still young, you just want to try everything. But trust me, these young boys are now doing very good, better than I.
Wow.
Trust me. So it just goes to show the level of spinning where it's going, you know. So I'm excited, you know, sitting there and watching the young boys. They are doing extremely very good.
No, they are
when it comes to stunts. Oh, yes.
Jeff, thank you so much for taking time out. I know you've got a busy schedule ahead of you and got a rock and roll to go and get everything sorted out. Good luck with the event, and please send all the crew from Red Bull our very best here from ESA.
Definitely, I'll do so.
Awesome stuff. Well, there you have it. Jeff James in the house, taking us through Red Bull Soweto, which of course happens on 9/11, hence the New York Police Department t-shirt out there. Shout out to all the first responders. But of course now, in terms of first response, let's go and find out what's to watch this week. Welcome back. It's now time to What to Watch. And What to Watch is exciting this week because it's after X Games and the Monster BMX. And of course, with no visits to the States for the last year and a half, after the X Games, a bit of a recap that Monster have done here, getting an international crew together with Kevin Peraza and hitting the streets of San Diego to go and find out exactly what was happening out there and do a little recap as to what happened at the X Games. Let's go and see what they got up to.
What do you want me to say again?
You have to say it.
X Games.
Yeah, we did the X Games.
It wasn't a big deal, even though it is.
San Diego BMX Day.
BMX Day. 300, 400 plus people on bicycles went out.
Hundreds of riders just sending it again was good, cool to see.
You know, we rode X Games and I'm healthy, and despite me being sore, it was so fun. I couldn't help myself. I had to go out and ride.
Yeah, I think it's time South Africa had a BMX day like that, because can you imagine the turnout that would happen there? And speaking of turnout, we're going to catch up with everything that happens and goes right in the turnout. once again, a massive, massive honor and privilege to be here as your host for this season. And make sure that you check out all of our social media. We want to hear and see and do everything that you want us to do, because this is what ESA is all about. It's interactive with everybody out there, and a massive welcome to everybody, of course, joining us here on Ignition, Channel 189 DSTV. From my side, Greg Minnaar, the voice of choice. That's it for now. We'll see you next week. Take care then. Bye-bye now.